Welcome to Dubai. In this video, we are going to cover the basics of everyday life in Dubai, including everything I wished I had known before moving here. Enjoy!
Dubai is one of the most futuristic and fastest growing cities in the world. Every year, 250,000 people move here, in search of a better life, higher incomes and lower taxes. However, despite the positives, there are also around 150,000 people who leave the city for good every year. These are very high numbers for a city of just 3.8 million people. Let's find out why so many people come here but also leave, and explore all the different ways of living in Dubai. From luxury cars to hairdressers that charge just $1.50. From the world's largest malls to markets with rock-bottom prices. And from the tallest and most luxurious towers to affordable neighborhoods and American-style suburbs. Dubai is the most populous city and also one of the 7 Emirates in a country called the United Arab Emirates, or UAE for short. Located on the Arabian Gulf, the UAE's neighboring countries are Saudi Arabia and Oman. The capital city, Abu Dhabi, is just a 150-kilometer drive south of Dubai.
One big reason why people move here is because there's no personal income tax, no capital gains tax, no property tax, and no inheritance tax. And best of all, you don't even have to file a personal income tax return.
Not just that, but there are also no social security or payroll taxes. Thus, if you make $100,000 per year as gross income, that's literally what you get to keep. There are no deductions for welfare, pensions or taxes whatsoever. And when you invest your savings in the stock market, real estate or crypto, there are no taxes on gains. Due to the lack of taxes, however, you will have to pay out of your own pocket for many services that you would probably expect to get for free in your home country. For self-employed individuals, there is no social welfare of any kind, no pensions, no free or subsidized healthcare, not even free education. You'll have to pay for everything. And that's one reason why some people move out after a few years. If things go bad, for example, your business fails, or you develop a disease, and you don't have sufficient savings, you won't be able to live here, as there isn't any government assistance. Now, if you make around $100,000 or more per year, thanks to tax savings, you should be able to save a significant part of your income to prepare for rainy days. And you will likely be better off in Dubai than in your home country as a result. However, for those on lower incomes, there is a constant risk that they have to leave the city as a result of a missing safety net. Still, all residents are officially required to have health insurance, even though this rule isn't always enforced. Like almost everything else in Dubai, the healthcare system is mostly privatized, and thus can be costly. More expensive than in Europe, but still cheaper than in the US.
And this is one of Dubai's more than 200 private schools.
Dubai is the first major city in the world with a fully privatized education system. So if you want to send your kids to school rather than homeschool them, which by the way is allowed, you will have to pay between $10,000 and $20,000 per year per kid on their education. In return, you get the choice of more than a dozen educational curriculums, ranging from the International Baccalaureate to various national diplomas from the UK to Australia. Due to these additional costs, individuals with lower incomes and many dependents, for example a lot of kids or elderly parents, may struggle financially in Dubai. So how are incomes here? Salaries for white-collar workers are roughly in line with those earned in Europe's biggest cities, such as London and Paris, but somewhat lower than in the US. Living in Dubai is especially lucrative if you're an entrepreneur and have your own business. The corporate income tax is just 9%, and there are generous exemptions, which mean that most small businesses end up paying 0% in corporate tax. VAT or sales tax is just 5%, and there are virtually no import duties or tariffs. Aside from low taxes, a major reason people move here is the ease of getting a residence visa. Investing $540,000 in real estate or putting that amount into a bank account qualifies you for a 10-year golden residence visa. And once you have the visa, you can sponsor your kids, spouse, and parents. And it gets better. If you set up a company here, you can get residence visas for any shareholders and unlimited employees. There's no quota or requirement on language skills or educational achievements. You just need office space for every visa you issue. You can literally hire anyone from anywhere and just give them a visa. The ease of getting a visa also means that the job market here is incredibly competitive. Dubai has the largest number of applicants for every job anywhere in the world. In the UAE, there's no minimum wage, and trade unions are prohibited by law. As a result of unlimited immigration and the lack of a minimum wage, blue-collar workers, contrary to white-collar workers, earn significantly less than in Western countries. Most blue-collar workers hail from countries such as Pakistan, India, and East Africa. Nonetheless, even with a salary of around $1,000 per month for low-skilled workers, they're still making double or triple of what they would make in their home countries. We've all seen the news reports on overcrowded labor camps and passports supposedly being taken away from workers, preventing them from leaving. Such abuses did exist in the past. However, they've become extremely rare as the UAE abolished the so-called kafala system, which granted employers control over their employees' whereabouts. The abolition of the kafala system and laws introduced in 2021 now mean that employees, including domestic workers, are free to change employers or leave the country anytime. And an employee whose passport is still illegally withheld by their employer can simply report them to the authorities and in the worst case scenario request a new passport through their embassy. Also, while there may not be a minimum wage or trade unions, you can make the argument that even low-income workers are treated better here in Dubai than elsewhere. How so? Any Pakistani or African migrant worker without formal education has the opportunity to find a job here and move to Dubai. Such opportunities simply do not exist in Western countries. Dubai provides more opportunities to these people and, yet hypocritically, is still criticized by the West. Due to immigration, 90% of Dubai's population is comprised of foreigners. In fact, there are more Indians and Pakistanis living in the UAE than Emiratis. There are also around 250,000 British citizens and 200,000 EU citizens living in the UAE. Because almost everyone here is a foreigner, people are generally open to connecting and meeting to make friends. And because there's so many cultures living here, you get a large variety of cuisines, stores, festivals, and viewpoints. The large number of foreigners, however, also means that there is a lack of a distinct local culture. Most places were built recently and can appear artificial as a result. In the old part of Dubai, Deira and Bur Dubai, there are a few original structures from 100 or 200 years ago. However, these are outnumbered by reconstructions. And you won't find Emiratis living here. Despite the large number of foreigners, the UAE has managed to become the second safest country on earth, just behind tiny Andorra in Europe. And Dubai is the 4th safest city in the world, just behind Abu Dhabi. There are virtually no robberies, murders, break-ins, or even pickpocketing. In fact, it is so safe here that even in a busy place such as a food court in a large mall, it is common to see people leaving their phones and handbags behind to reserve a table while they're getting food or visiting the restroom. While there is virtually no violent crime or theft, you should still remain careful because there's another hidden type of crime. Specifically financial crime, including fraud, broken contracts, embezzlement, and money laundering. To give you a few examples, it is not uncommon for people to take out loans, whether that is personal or business loans or even credit card debt, with the intention to leave the country and never return. When you buy a car, you also need to be careful. Hundreds of thousands of cars that were written off due to flood damage or accidents are imported every year from the US to the UAE and are repaired in questionable repair shops just to be resold like new. Similarly, many real estate developers and real estate agents make bold claims ranging from guaranteed returns to specific completion dates, which are often not upheld, leaving investors with little or no recourse. Dubai real estate is also popular because many real estate agents and some developers are willing to accept payment in crypto from non-verified sources. That can be money from sanctioned countries, such as Russia, or Westerners not wanting to pay tax on their crypto gains. So in a way, while there is financial crime, it can have an upside if you want to move money here that otherwise can't be moved anywhere else. Now that we know the basics, let's talk a bit more about everyday life in Dubai, in particular the cost of living. Dubai is known as a place full of luxury cars, 5-star hotels, and superlatives. And yes, life can be expensive, but it doesn't have to be. First of all, any kind of expenses that involve manual labor, such as construction, gardening, cleaning, driving, hairdressing, and so on, are generally much cheaper in Dubai than in Western countries. To give you an extreme example, you can get a haircut for as little as $1.50, such as in this neighborhood called International City. And here you can get a haircut for only 5 dirham, correct?
5 dirham, yeah.
That's amazing. Where are you from, my friend?
Pakistan.
That's so affordable. Excellent, thank you.
Welcome.
However, any kind of services involving highly skilled labor, think of lawyers and doctors, will be similarly priced in Dubai as in the West. In terms of goods, such as cars, appliances and clothing, Dubai often has higher prices than Western countries, despite the lower VAT of just 5% and lack of tariffs. Luxury products such as designer handbags or premium vehicles in particular tend to be more expensive. A main reason for these higher prices is that at the top end, people are willing to spend. Dubai has plenty of high net worth individuals living here, and there's a culture to show off, no matter the cost. Many brands take advantage of that. However, the city also has a large underbelly of people with lower incomes, and they're not left behind. Remember the $1.50 haircut? If you know where to go, you can buy everything from furniture to clothing and toys at rock bottom prices. The only thing is you won't find these deals at Dubai Mall or in Dubai Marina. You'll have to venture further out, for example to Dragon Mart, a huge shopping complex where you can find any imaginable Chinese product at incredibly low prices. Similarly, while high-end restaurants on the beach may be pricier than in the West, standard middle-class restaurants from Nando's to Pizza Express And also fast food chains are generally cheaper than in Western countries. The same goes for non-luxury cars such as Nissans or Toyotas, which tend to be slightly cheaper here than in America and considerably cheaper than in Europe. So what about other types of expenses, such as real estate, rent, and utilities?
We are here at one of the world's most futuristic-looking gas stations, right outside Expo City.
Gas costs less than 3 dirham or around 75 US cents per liter, or 2.8 US dollar per gallon. All gas stations in the UAE have the same gas prices, so no need to look around. In fact, they are published monthly in local newspapers.
And best of all, this very low price already includes full service.
Water and electricity are similarly affordable. And when it comes to renting or buying real estate, you can find something in every price segment, ranging from some of the most expensive luxury properties in the world, such as apartments for more than 100 million US dollar, all the way to studios starting from just 80,000 US dollar in the International City neighborhood, the same place where you have Dragon Mart and $1.50 haircuts. The same goes for rent. Standard new one-bedroom apartments can be had for around 2,000 US dollar per month in well-located areas, whereas studio apartments on the outskirts rent for around 600 US dollar per month. Quite affordable for a major city. Living in Dubai shouldn't all be about work and expenses, and thankfully this is another area where Dubai shines. This city is among the 10 most visited cities in the world, thanks in part to its many tourist and leisure activities. Dubai has the world's largest water park called Aquaventure and another water park called Wild Wadi right on the foot of Burj Al Arab, the world's only 7-star hotel. There are multiple theme parks including Legoland and Motion Gate. In neighboring Abu Dhabi, you have SeaWorld, Ferrari World, and plans are underway for Disneyland Abu Dhabi. Speaking of SeaWorld, Dubai has 2 aquariums, one at Atlantis on the Palm,
30,000 fishes. In the entire facility of Atlantis, we have 65,000.
and another one in Dubai Mall. While Dubai is unlikely to ever be known as a museum destination, there are several that are worth visiting, including the Shindaka Museum, which tells the history of Dubai, including stories of how school kids less than 100 years ago used to cross the shallow creek on foot to go to school. There are lots of art galleries in downtown and in a district called Al Sakal Avenue. Here you can also find a variety of handcrafted goods, such as customized leather shoes and handbags, all handmade according to your preferences. Dubai even has a number of farmers' markets. Multiple such markets are branded as ripe markets and found across the city, but mostly take place during winter when temperatures are lower. It is also possible to engage in any kind of sport imaginable. We have the deepest diving pool in the world at a depth of 60 meters. There's Skydive Dubai, which allows you not only to do a tourist dive over Palm Jumeirah, but they also offer skydiving lessons over the desert at a more affordable rate. There are also more than a dozen golf courses in the city, some with spectacular views of the city. And if you're new to golf, you may visit Top Golf, which is an interactive driving range for both beginners and pros. There's even a Formula One great race course, where you can race your own car or rent one. And it wouldn't be Dubai without the ability to ski in the desert, and here again, there are lessons for beginners as well. And for something more elegant, there's Dubai Opera in downtown, a large 2,000-seat venue hosting all major shows on a rotating basis. Now, many of these activities are going to be costly, just like their Western equivalents. That's in fact a frequent complaint by people moving here. However, there are still lots of activities that are free or almost free. Almost every single residential building here has its own pool and gym, without extra usage fees. There are also a number of city parks, some of them free to use, and others charging minimal entrance fees of $1 or $2. And of course, there are plenty of public free-to-use beaches, ranging from busy JBR Beach in Dubai Marina to the still relatively underused beach on Dubai Islands. You may not expect it, but there are even public libraries, including the large Sheikh Mohammed Library named after Dubai's ruler. You can work from here for free. You can also explore the numerous souks in Old Dubai and cross the creek for just 30 US cents if you are into adventures. There are also multiple affordable ice skating rinks and lots of indoor badminton and tennis courts. You may have noticed a lot of these are indoor activities, which brings us to another polarizing issue, the climate. A lot of people move to Dubai because of the fantastic winter weather, with temperatures between 20 and 30 degrees Celsius between November and March, and almost no rainfall. However, the flip side is unbearable heat during half of the year, between April and October. You may adapt to these temperatures by going outside during early mornings or late evenings only. Nevertheless, due to the climate, many residents leave during the summer months, which not only is costly, but can make you feel lonely when you're left behind. Air quality also tends to be poor. Dubai, on average, suffers from worse air quality than even many Chinese or Indian cities. There are no natural freshwater lakes or rivers, and no forests, aside from some mangrove forests in Dubai Creek and Abu Dhabi. While Dubai is actively adding green spaces, particularly along highways and in new suburban communities, due to the lack of rainfall in the region, it will remain a challenge to improve air quality. Due to the heat and limited public transportation, many residents are car dependent. Just like Dubai's population, the number of cars on the road is rising. In fact, car registrations are increasing by 10% year on year, 3 times faster than population growth. And while there's a lot of traffic in city centers such as downtown and Business Bay, Dubai faces significantly less traffic than other major cities around the world. And that's thanks to constant expansions to Dubai's many highways. Thanks to construction works that go on 24/7, new highway projects, including highway interchanges, are often completed in just 1 to 2 years. Nonetheless, traffic congestion is a sticky problem in select parts of the city, particularly in the north. Around 1 million people are estimated to live in more affordable Sharjah to the north and commute to Dubai on a daily basis. Due to limited road connections between the two cities and almost no public transport links, this leads to hour-long gridlocks on the few connecting roads between Dubai and Sharjah. This is actually a good example of the ongoing competition between the various emirates in the UAE. Road links between Dubai and Sharjah are intentionally limited, as visible here on this map, as Dubai encourages people to live in Dubai rather than move to more affordable Sharjah. Property prices in Dubai are on average twice as expensive as compared to Sharjah, even if just a few kilometers apart. Back in Dubai, adjacent neighborhoods are often divided by highways, and as a result are at times poorly connected. If you live here in Business Bay and need to get over to the offices in the nearby design district, it will be a struggle without a car. Dubai consists of a series of mega clusters. Individual districts such as downtown, Dubai Marina or Business Bay are large, self-sustaining developments that are built and managed by independent property developers. While some of these developers are government-owned, they still operate independently. Dubai's government builds the highway infrastructure connecting wider parts of the city. But that's it. For that reason, it is at times comically inconvenient to get from one cluster to the next, even if they're located right next to each other. However, while Dubai's decentralized approach to city planning has its downsides, it does have benefits. As neighborhoods are developed by individual developers rather than a central government entity, there is an incredible variety in architectural styles and living arrangements. The high-rise business districts, American-style suburbs, and European-inspired waterfront neighborhoods. The maintenance of these neighborhoods is paid for not through taxes, but through the service charges, also known as HOA fees, of the individual buildings. Such charges will be higher in premium neighborhoods, such as in downtown, where they are around 20 dirham per square foot. And they will be lower in affordable neighborhoods, such as International City, where they are less than half. And checking building service charges is easily possible directly on the Dubai Land Department website. While walkability in Dubai is an issue, the government is encouraging the development of so-called 15-minute districts, meaning that you can go to work, go shopping, and get entertainment within a 15-minute walkable radius. Neighborhoods such as Dubai Marina already function that way, with offices, apartments, and leisure activities all in the same place. There's also an extensive bus network, with air-conditioned bus stops in busy areas. And while the fully automatic, driverless metro system may just have 2 lines as of today, a 3rd line is under construction. Dubai's metro has a car for women and kids only. Similarly, on certain days, only women and families with kids are allowed to enter government parks, such as this one. As a single man, usually referred to as a bachelor, you won't be allowed to enter. The UAE has the 2nd most severe gender imbalance of any country in the world, just behind nearby Qatar. Around 2/3 of the population is male, mostly due to the large numbers of migrant workers and expats. That's also why most people living here are in their 30s. Most migrant workers work 6 days a week and only get off on Sundays. On those days, shopping malls and the metro can get very busy. As large groups of young men can get rowdy, rules to separate women in the metro, on buses, and even in city parks are in place for added privacy. This is a rechargeable public transport card, called Noel card, that you can use for riding the metro or buses. And this one in particular is a special edition in honor of the Year of Tolerance. Back in 2019, the UAE declared the Year of Tolerance, and neighboring Abu Dhabi invited Pope Francis to visit the country. A first visit of a pope to the Islamic world in 1,400 years. The UAE, like many other Arab countries, is often portrayed by Western media as discriminating against migrant workers, women, and the LGBT community. There's some restrictions in place. Married women, for example, are not allowed to work without the permission of their husbands. And homosexuality is illegal. However, in other ways, the UAE is incredibly progressive. You could make the argument that the UAE is among the most open and tolerant countries in the world. Which other country allows unlimited immigration to the extent that its own local population ends up becoming a 10% minority? With so many foreigners here, nobody expects you to speak even a single word of Arabic, despite Arabic being the official language. and even all government services are provided in English. While the UAE is an Islamic country, non-Muslims are fully welcome here. A law prohibiting cohabitation by unmarried couples was revoked in 2020. Just a few years ago, during Ramadan, restaurants put up curtains and food courts put up barriers so that Muslims wouldn't have to watch foreigners eat and drink during the Islamic fasting period. Even that was abolished in Dubai in 2021. Even more astonishingly, the UAE changed its weekend. Many Islamic countries have their weekends on Friday and Saturday, with Sunday being a regular working day. The UAE, however, switched its weekend over to Saturday and Sunday back in 2022. Just think about that. Can you imagine a Western country changing its weekend to Friday and Saturday just to accommodate business practices in another part of the world? Despite all these changes, restrictions on public displays of affection, homosexuality, and almost all drugs remain in place. And you can't outright insult or defame people. You also can't criticize government institutions in any way. And as an absolute monarchy, you don't have the right to vote here. Being an absolute monarchy arguably allowed the UAE to develop this fast. Try to think of a democracy that can match the UAE and Dubai in terms of crime rates, low taxation, high standard of living, and overall tolerance. Government authorities are on a constant quest to become more efficient. Have a look at this. You can add your driving license, car registration, and even your visa to your Apple Wallet on your phone. When logging in to some government apps, you're presented with a charter to reduce government bureaucracy. And you're even being issued a symbolic certificate of appreciation for helping provide feedback on how to reduce bureaucracy. I could only dream of this level of efficiency in my home country of Germany, where government officials and bureaucrats actively prevent digitization as it would threaten their jobs. In Dubai, selected government offices are even open 24/7. Yes, you heard that right. You can apply for a new ID card at 3 a.m. in the morning on a Sunday, without an appointment. And at so-called VIP government centers, there's almost no waiting. And doing your visa-related medical checkup at these centers, robots are actually the ones serving your drinks. If you're considering relocating here, getting a visa, or setting up a business, we here at the Dubai Navigator are at your service 7 days of the week. Unlike other service providers, we provide tax optimization support, both in your home country and in the UAE. We cover company setups in the mainland and all 50+ free zones, and provide assistance with any imaginable task from getting a local driving license to helping you hire employees. Book a free consultation today at thedubainavigator.com. Thank you for watching. This is Dubai. Always open for business, always developing. If you want a competitive, dynamic life, this is the place to be.